Scoring 330 plus on the GRE can be your ticket to one of your dream universities out there, and it's going to open doors to a lot of universities. In this video, I'm going to be giving you a day-by-day, step-by-step GRE preparation plan for 1 full month. That means within 1 month, I want you to be able to master the GRE, go from wherever you are right now towards a 330 or more. And guess what? I'm going to be giving you all the recommended study material, and you don't need coaching. I assure you, this video will cover everything you need to ace the test. Before we actually proceed, make sure that you know the format of the GRE. If you check on your screen right now, there's one AWS section with an analyze and issue task, which you basically have 30 minutes for. This always comes at the beginning of the test. Then there's two verbal sections and two quant sections, but they can alternate in any order. So first quant, verbal, or verbal, quant. The first section is usually smaller and the second one usually longer, and you can read more about the format in the image. Now, if you don't understand too much about the format, that's fine. Just continue with the video because you'll start to sort of grab the ropes as we go. A little bit about me, I took the GRE and scored a 329 on the test. I've also coached hundreds of you guys for the last 7 years. And all of the study material I'm going to be referencing in this video is available for free download when you sign up on YMGrad.com. We'll send you an email with all the study material in it. Without further ado, let's move on to the plan. The first thing I advise you to do is to go ahead to the ETS website, the creator of the test, and book your test. Whatever date you want to basically take the test, whether it's exactly 30 days later or maybe 35, 40 days, have that booking on a piece of paper, print it in front of you so that you know you have a knife hanging over your head. Now you need to study because the test is already booked, the money is already spent. So you sort of set the deadline by doing that. The second thing I want you to do is to go onto the ETS website. They have two official full mock tests available. One of these you're going to take right now, and it's called Power Prep. You're going to go ahead, take the test so that you can understand where you currently stand, what you are scoring right now. That's something that we need to know so that we can cover the gap between that and the 330 that we're looking for. Don't worry if your score is not great. The first time I tried, my score was not even 300 and I was able to get it towards 329. Now, before I actually talk about the day-by-day plan, let me talk to you about the study material we're going to be using in this plan. For me, the study material is usually divided into two major portions. Number one is concept building, where you sort of learn as to how to take the test, what kind of strategies there are, how to tackle certain questions, what kind of formulas you need to know. And the second material is just practice material, where you're basically just taking out the questions and you're testing yourself, but that's not the place where you learn from. For concept building, one of the best packages out there would be the 1000 Magoosh GRE questions and videos. Special emphasis on the videos over here because those are the ones that you need for this part of the process. The second practice material, if you don't have access to the videos, is the Manhattan 8 book set for the GRE, and these are also available as a part of your sign-up email when you sign up on YMGrad.com. Now, looking at the practice material, the, again, 1000 Magoosh questions, which were apart from the videos, are very important practice material. It's very close to the actual level of questions of the GRE. You can also use the Manhattan 5-pound book. This is one of the best books to go with. And you can use the Princeton 1014 questions for the GRE. Most of these study material you'll just get for free when you sign up on YMGrad.com. Now, let's finally move on to our preparation plan. I'll tell you about exactly what you need to do at each and every part of the process so that you are secured. Phase 1 is preparation. Out of our 30-day plan, more or less 25 days will actually go into the phase 1 itself. I want you to know that every single day we'll be doing quant and verbal both. But I'll start with quant. Now for quant, what I want you to do is go ahead to the Manhattan 5-pound book, look in the content section, pick up any one chapter of your liking. Let's say you picked up geometry. Now I want you to search for the same exact topic in the Magoosh videos or the Manhattan 8 book set, and then understand and revise all the concepts of that chapter. I understand some of you might already know some of these concepts, but it's important to go through the videos so that you refresh all of these formulas in your mind, just in case. Now, once you've watched the videos or revised the formulas from the book, now I want you to start solving questions. I want you to do 3 complete practice sets of the quant section, similar to the actual format of the GRE, with the timer on for geometry as of right now. So as for the format, you have section 1, section 2, 12 questions for the first section, 15 questions for the second section. Both of these will combine into a set, and you need to do 3 such sets, and all the questions should be from geometry. Where do you get the questions from? From the 5-pound book or from the Magoosh 1000 questions that I mentioned. After each and every set, I want you to review, understand your mistakes so that you don't repeat them on the next set. Your performance should be mostly improving as you proceed through the sets. Now comes the important part. If you feel like you're not even able to get 75% of the questions right in the 3 sets that you just solved, I want you to devote one more day to this geometry chapter. So tomorrow also, you're going to be doing geometry itself. And that's why at the beginning I mentioned for quant, I want you to spend 1 to 2 days per chapter. 1 day for the chapters that you are good at, and 2 days for the chapters that are your weaker areas. Now remember that I also mentioned in these 25 days every day, not only are we doing quant, but also verbal. Let's talk about the verbal section preparation. I want you to spend 4 to 5 days on each and every verbal question type. Now, these are not chapters, they're question types. There are 4 major question types over here: text completion, sentence equivalence, reading comprehension, and logical reasoning, which is just a shorter version of the reading comprehension. Again, we follow the same exact format. First day, you pick up a question type, let's say text completion. You finish the Magooish videos on this chapter, or you go through the Manhattan 8 book set so that you understand whatever you have to do. You gain the strategy at this point. And then you practice 3 full-fledged verbal sections by just doing text completion questions. After the first set, you review your answers, understand your mistakes, and try again in the second set. You do the same after that in the third set. At this point, you can stop, take a breather, and then end it for the day, and then continue this for 4 days as a minimum. On your fourth day, after you've done all these sets, you want to calculate your success percentage. I want you to understand you need to get at least 65 to 70%. If you're not getting that 70% mark, you're not getting close to 330 under any circumstances. And if you don't get that 70%, I want you to consider this as your weaker area and spend one more day on text completion. And then from there, basically, you start with the next section after that. Oh, and by the way, I haven't forgotten about AWA. In those 25 days, if you follow this plan like I mentioned, last 5 days, you won't need to do any verbal because you would have already finished off all of the verbal content. At this point, we're going to focus for those 5 days on AWA. I want you to use the Manhattan 5-pound book exclusively for this question. I want you to complete 2 issue essay questions per day, and I want you to use a notepad while writing, just a basic notepad which just does not go ahead, correct your mistakes or acts like Grammarly or Microsoft Word. Later, I want you to compare your answer to the Manhattan 5-pound book's answer and check if your answer could have been improved a little bit. After that, of course, you can use Grammarly or any other software to check for your grammatical mistakes, and you can then later on fix them. Phase 2, the final 5 days of your preparation. After your preparation for the quant and verbal sections is completed for the most part in phase 1, now we are going to go ahead to mock tests in phase 2. I want your mind, your body to get used to sitting down for those 2 hours and then taking the test in a manner like your performance does not go down. So what I want you to do is to take a mock test every single day, review it in the afternoon if possible, and then see if you have certain weaker areas that you can work on in the night. So if let's say algebra turns out to be a weaker area in today's test, in the night you can solve some questions from algebra. Now you might be asking, Yash, which mock test should we be using? Well, here are my best picks. Number 1, you have Kaplan 5 mock tests account. This will have 5 mock tests for the GRE. If you have this account, great. If you don't, at least one of them is free, so you can at least do it for free on their website. The next one would be Princeton 4 mock test account. This is also a very good alternative. 4 of them are, of course, on a paid account, but 1, if you want to do on their website, it is free. Then we have the Manhattan 6 test account. This one will have 6 full-fledged tests for the GRE, but one of them is again free on their website. And finally, number 4, you have ETS 2 power prep tests, out of which 1 you would have already used up by now. So there's 1 more available for free. To get these mock test accounts at a very well discounted price of even 70-80%, you can go on to newstudymaterial.com, where our subsidiary partners would be able to offer the study material for a very low price. Before you leave, I have some pro tips for you. Number 1, use the Barron's 800 word list. I share this word list with you as well when you sign up on YMGrad, so everything's already with you. All you need is to basically go over that 800 words word list. The reason I suggest this particular one is because the hit ratio is very good. So there's a very good chance that out of those 800, some of those words will actually appear on your GRE test. Number 2, whenever you are solving questions, remember we are using pure GRE full-fledged material. We're not randomly reading newspapers. If you see a word that you don't know the meaning of, write down the word, write down the meaning, and write down a sentence using that word. This will help you understand the word better, and you'll be creating your own dictionary of words that you particularly don't know. And final pro tip number 3 is to always use Grammarly in the end so that you check your mistakes on the AWA section which you made on Notepad. If you're stuck around till here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have a lot more content on the GRE and on admissions coming up that might help you in your journey. And of course, from the bottom of my heart, you guys are like family. I wish you all the best. Please score the best possible score you can get on your GRE, and I really hope that this plan helps you. If you'd like to connect to me personally, you have my Instagram. You can reach out to me over there. And for now, I'm going to take your leave. Goodbye and take care.